Yung den den de yen yen bo zho jiang bo yang do bo zho bi Zu den bo de wo shi bo ju den chen bo ju bu de Ka lo ju wo la na me bo la da me na ju den bo sang ju zhang de别教我教教都把了相思路去多教自觉悟别个年说我去大自所见的那公办的不年俺年纪点的那出去送的这个不就了相思路那多跟我出多做让我一切叫做随着人不的，他不就点说那让我公布求你求了相思路，先就点把正面到别叫，先多找我求了相思路。留着见到四波送我见鸟面前见就了相子渡劫切天波东劫见别天波波是那有天叫做见天见写了相子路大别的桥之我就给别送来着心觉得得到求觉不现觉去了相思路这年这月那样的老爸到了绕多年心给当把有点点跟的那样相思路对不这样们叫心给我别送说不起让给三年用处的年上街等不赢干嘛着这嘛面当就嘛是我就不当没那落到真到不的些就难的当当是当的越当其是把赢过碰到年就着的高当那当七月老主别随便错的着完着完哟。
Thus I have heard. At one time, the Blessed One was drawn on a domain of Vulture Peak Mountain with a great gathering of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the samadhi of the many aspects of phenomena called profound appearance. At the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, looking at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, saw the five skandhas and their natural emptiness. Then, through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, how should a son of a lineage train who wishes to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva answered the Venerable Shariputra with these words. Shariputra, those men and women of the lineage who wish to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look at it like this. The five skandhas should be seen purely in their natural emptiness. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form also is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, recognition, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are emptiness, and having no characteristics, they are unborn and unceasing. They are not impure or pure. They neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no recognition, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no phenomena. There is no quality of sight, until no quality of mind and no quality of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no exhaustion of ignorance, and so on, up to no old age and death, no exhaustion of old age and death. In the same way, there is no suffering, no origin, no ending, and no path. No wisdom, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on and abide by means of the profound perfection of wisdom. And since their minds have no obscurations, they have no fear. Transcending falsity, they attain nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell on the three times have relied upon the perfection of wisdom and have become true and complete Buddhas of unsurpassable, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the profound perfection of wisdom, the mantra of insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering should be known as truth, for it is not deceptive. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Teata om gate gate paragate parasangate bodhi soha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and said to the bodhisattva mahasattva, noble Avalokiteshvara, that he had spoken well. Well done, O son of the lineage, it is so. O son of the lineage, since it is just so, the profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced just as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will also rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Sharadvatiputra and noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, and the entire gathering, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, rejoiced to praise the words of the Blessed One.
Gombo yuzen jambe yanglo shangze lo Gangye lo zhe zhenye zhenye da na da ra se we Jenye de ge je je ze she Nye je do ga le bon zin Kanda sibe zara ma re me da do nge je zembe Do zo gen la bu je da ze yan la zhu je yan den song Do da che zhu nye mo nye long Le je jia zhu zhu ze jin Ma re me se do nge nyong go je nye chen ze zhe zhe na De ne da je sa je da ze yun de le zo jia se to yun go Jo da ju nie jian zhe da le me se jiang be yang la le O arabazana de O arabazana de O arabazana de Zeden che je chen ra le ze che Da le de mo me ba ra se ne Ka da de je jun lo lo ba ye Lo de ba be na O ya so je be je Sho je ye me ye do
In order to listen to the sublime teachings of the Dharma, according to the system of Kadamba, there are two things that is important. It is the beginning and then at the end. In the beginning, it is important to cultivate appropriate motivations to listen to the teachings of the Dharma.
다 대지 추저 지니 이rin라인 된다게 마고나요. 곧 된다 템버치. 되세대 추저서 마동하제. 되세대 된다 템버치 제라니 경로제 백게 침보로 와서.
It is very important to maintain appropriate motivations to receive the teachings of the Dharma, because we are spending a couple of hours being together here. So our 2 hours of our time, make sure that our 2 hours of time together, our togetherness here makes meaningful and purposeful by maintaining appropriate motivations and paying close attention to what is being taught here.
다 미유신의 자기 때로 다 경로주세나 이로 미자네 녜때 책이 있어야되로.
So maintaining our appropriate motivations is you're actually setting your goal of what will be you doing by listening to these teachings of the Dharma.
당가서 드리기 경로대 같이 위해서는 아니 단단가 돼서 이게 컴버치 소리지 많이 봐. 아니 덤바투비 온보 있으나 덤바투비 온보라서 도나리 남아지바 대다기 니 제탈이 예스치로.
So now at this point, you should not think about yourself being in an ordinary place where I am right now, but rather imagine that you are being in the presence of all those great beings such as Buddha Shakyamuni and the lineage gurus, direct and indirect lineage gurus of the Lam Rim Chenmo, and imagine that you are being in the presence of those great noble beings.
야 베다서기 라만테치. 딱 수기 된다 제게서는 랑기 전체파만 접이 선전은 타고도 유에스치로.
So for what purpose you're, listening to the teachings of the Dharma is for the benefit of all other sentient beings. With this, then imagine that you are surrounded by all those kind sentient beings. You are surrounded by those entire sentient beings.
야 조이다마 미유기 선전이기 미바세보 옆에 된다라 까마송스치 미바체긴다.
In order to have a clear focus or contemplation on the object of refuge, which is taking refuge in three jewels, and generating compassion towards sentient beings, let's take a couple, several minutes to meditate upon.
되지. 나와서 되는 시간 아마 저런 지단 넘버지는 게 대신된 조기 세지로. 그게 받은 그 같이.
So you must have a strong determination that just as all those noble beings have done in the past in terms of their practice and benefiting other sentient beings. And may I too follow their footsteps to listen to the Dharma in order to benefit all other sentient beings.
나 tendeina 간절해서는 되는 주변에 맞서 간절전에 배워서나 아니 상초랑지를만 송반나 이제 배워래. 인사는 게 될라 아니 동보 더 아니 바다 아니 가사다 로조제 아니 타마시바제네 아니 야내적인 예스제로 즉 가투 계시시는 다래.
So now what kind of, what is meant by following the footsteps of the great beings, the noble beings of the past? So here now, just as all those great beings, the noble beings who have followed the path, the system of teachings, what we call the great deities on the stage of the path to enlightenment, in other words, Lam Rim Chenmo. So may I too, today, I'll do my best to listen to the teachings of the Dharma and try to contemplate on the meanings of the Dharma, and whatever the teachings that I have heard, I will put forth for practicing those dharmas and so on.
그래서 다시 가르던 것은 가디나 카랑로네 삼발을 손하지려다 그러와. 손하지려서는 거든 제비도는 내가 가르쳐서는 비답을 해도 손하지거든. 해봐 삼발을 소화해지고.
So whenever you're listening to the teachings of the Dharma or the practicing Dharma, it is important to really to be, draw your mind inwards instead of, letting your mind wander outside, but rather try your best to actually draw your mind inward and try to have a special feeling within. You should have some kind of feeling, some kind of special feeling. The special feeling need to be generated to engage in the practice of the Dharma.
당가 시에도 망도. 인전 당가서 같은 로이다. 다 인자는 가서 강시바세에 전에는 상조랑지를 마지로. 네 된주기 상조랑지를 마대서 이사지 시지로. 죽은 쯤바 때문에 신제법이 채워지. 대를 신라잖아. 싸워도. 그 된주기
So now let's go through the text, actual text, beginning from the four major outlines as we normally do, which begins with showing the greatness of the authors given in order to show the teachings as a noble source.
제법이 채워지. 아니 죽은 쯤바데 제법이 채워. 당할 기바지비 취지 채워도 니바지.
Showing the greatness of the teachings in order to engender respect for the teachings, instructions.
다 아니 저완이도 안 되면 줄라니 시자다 샤와 손바지.
How to listen to the teachings in which both teachings and its authors are great.
아니 제바 당방은 정말 제대로 이름 봐. 사이 사제제대로.
And the fourth outline is the sequence in which the disciples are to be taught the actual instructions. Those are the four main, outlines of the great deities on the stages of the path to enlightenment.
다 되게 사제제대 주당은 사제기 시장지만 봐. that's 고 that's 도도라고 소소라고 해 봐처럼. 되진.
So not only that you are just reciting through this four outlines, but rather try your best to try to have a proper comprehension of the meaning of the four outlines, and will be very beneficial.
당한 것인 거. 다지 지바든 가사 담방을 하마 지대 주의를 발라니리 랑지 자와 신이 때문에 된로 지다쟁이를 바니리 다 동본지사 다 된로 지다쟁이를 바니리 대대는 힘벌림 비시고 와도 힘벌 지다림 비치니 다 동본지사 다 힘벌 지다림 비치더니 랑지 나자는 게 받자거든 힘벌림 생어지 다 동본지사 다 힘벌림 생어들라 손리 주부 청년도 대모에 나제를 마냥선이 주변진도 대모에 주부 챔피언 나제를 마냥선이 다 주부 청년 나제를 마냥선이 지던로사 다 주변진도 대모에 나제를 마냥선이 지레 주변진이 선바장왕의 대집에 텔로로버도 봤어요 아니 타바다 대집에 랑제라지 때나 배바스 당가서 사제제바데 가르 텔로로버도 봤어요래 텔로 로봇도 봤어요. 배치 사진 된 건데 뇌에서. 당가서 거기서 보고 가르치고 와서는 주부 진 연랑지린 받으 시고에로 왔을라다.
So we are on the teachings, the mind in the trainings, the mind in the stages of the path shared with the person of middle capacities. Middling capacities.
때로 거기서는 담박무세데 담박 가르쳐 그래 개개된 거라서 개개되는 간도 거서는 개개되는 랑지림바 송보대 렌질 호거래 세대로.
So it is, how you should, how one should be understood in the beginning of the Lam Rim is first one need to rely upon a teacher, and then having relied upon the teacher, then one will be taught the subject matter of the text of the three, the trainings of the three capacities, or the trainings of the three persons, small, middling, and great.
또 되버시나 마음을 쪄야 된다로. 센디기 저심말라니 강에 매트릭이 된다라 주변 중요한지는 받을로 아니 저원이 준의 강에 매트릭이 된다 주변인전 나지는 받로 아니 저 땡지 되마도에 된다라 아니 가르 주변 챔피언지는 받을 로스대로 대화도에 된다라 랑지는 받소나 로쇼 소마로.
So in order to achieve happiness, one need to practice the three trainings. One need to engage in the practice of the three trainings of the small capacities. By engaging in the practice of the small trainings of the small person or the small capacities, one will refrain from taking rebirth in the lower realms and so on. And by engaging in the practice of the middle capacities, one will be refrain from taking uncontrollably taking rebirth in this cyclic existence. And by engaging in the practice of the great capacities, one will not only gain freedom from the cyclic existence, but also gain the ultimate state of happiness, which is ultimate state of enlightenment.
자청부 수위시에서는 단도 추보디 첨보되려면 도대보시에서는 주변 중력이 된다라 렌제지 따와데 치신데 냥슬랭 그래 주변 랭이 된다라 담에 따와데 치신다 랑슬랭 그래 주변 첨비 된다라 상축이 생기 생비고는 돈유도 별로 냥슬랭 그래서디 야이도 되거라.
Although we have such a thick volume of the Lam Rim text that is in front of us, but if we were to condense those Lam Rim, and we can condense in a very, very succinctly, in a very short form, beginning from practice of small capacities, by having a great faith and appreciation in law of cause and effect, and by engaging in the practice of the middling capacities. The main practice of middling capacity is to understand the selflessness, or to understand how the self or I really is. And then by engaging in the practice of the great capacities, one engages in the primary practice of the great capacity is to engaging in the practice of bodhicitta. Mm-hmm. So those are the three different kinds of practice which actually encapsulate the entire teachings of the Lam Rim.
도대고 주도와 가서기로와 소소 제거에 제게 라차 아니 제사기 내당들지들 창송 라반은 내대고 주지도.
So it is really simple, if you look at it this way, you can simplify those teachings in these three trainings. In other words, and it is as if that these teachings can be fit in the palm of your own hand. You're able to just although it's a huge volume, but you'll be able to carry this in the palm of your hand if you know how to actually condense this entire teachings.
맞아 좋아지고는 추지하시면 간다고 그래서나 렌치 작업을 제거로. 아니 되네 저와네 대그립에서는 연조 렌치 작업을 제거래. 아니 나는 이 세제 탕지 다 레벨에서는 양 렌치 작업을 제. 대송각이 내도 노도 쉬우지 되지.
So then, this is how we can, answer the questions. If someone asks you a question, if you were to ask a question, in other words, what kind of rebirth that you may have in your future, in your future life, in your next life, in other words, that's the first question. And the second question would be, will you be able to have a continual rebirth within within the human realms? Or what happened to all other sentient beings? So those are the kind of questions that you could ask. And with this question, asking these questions will give you an idea of the practice of the three trainings, or the three practice of the three capacities, person of three capacities, sorry.
근데 당연히 로긴다. 당연히 가서 강가들에게 손봐 로 델로로버도 보세요. 아시 데레베스라다. 마서 로서비스를 진도 얘는 처음.
숨바 델로로버도 보세요. 디샤샤.
그래서 데레베스 인지된다.
So we are on page 328. It is Dispelling Misconceptions.
대가서 도대버도 근데 텔로로버도 보세요. 생인데 지당이나 상추 선바도서 선제 당지 있던도 콜에 체대님의 된되냐 와라 콜에 쉬고라 왔을라다가 소이나 그럼 로는 된도 되는 거지.
So now here, before we go through the text, and which is giving you the glimpse of the actual meaning of this particular paragraphs here of the Dispelling the Misconceptions. So in this particular chapter that we're dealing with how the bodhisattvas are taking rebirth in the within the unenlightened existence, independently, in other words, not actually, forced by some kind of, karma or negative afflictions, just like ordinary beings, but they take rebirth joyfully, deliberately by themselves for the benefit of other sentient beings taking rebirth within the secular existence. And this particular chapter will be dealing with this, how the bodhisattvas take rebirth in secular existence. Willfully, in other words.
또 너무 된다 너도 지식으로. 근데 상추 코인님이 코아세디 두자래라고도 양 상추 선바대 이유도 가르쳐려서라나. 어때래? 다 될래냐고 그러면서.
So then now here, why the bodhisattvas are taking rebirth in this secular existence, since the secular existence is not said to be a desirable realms, that to be taken in rebirth. Why then bodhisattva is taking rebirth in secular existence? This is the first question. So this is misconception needs to be dispelled. So this will give you in the text itself. It's very clearly if you look at it. So let's go through the readings of the text now.
Kete Koye Yi Jongshin, Joa Gana, Nientoda Koa Shubala, Megai Shiyu Tatu Vesa, Mari Shiyu Talongye, Joa Gamba ne Temelan Zeji, Shanchu Sambala ne Teda Gamba Miride, Samasanji Mechebendole, Shanchu Sambana ne Senje Yonsu Mimba, Ni Nyawazone, Koala Pena de Tawa Deta Yonsu, Deba Chembo Malaso, Deba Chembola Malaso, Shetan, Kete Shanchu Samba Kui, Shui La Tranane, Shui Malava Tongo, Shetan Chande de Nientone, Kui Shui La Trabanjoa, Large Shanchu Samba Nane, La Koa Padu Member Yonsu, Zimba Shepan Jo, Lasso, Shesun, Bishero Shena, so, Linsechi do Jilo
So, dispelling misconceptions. Although it is appropriate in the Hinayana to cultivate disenchantment with the cyclic existence, it is inappropriate for bodhisattvas. For if bodhisattvas were to cultivate intense disgust and disenchantment with the cyclic existence, why would be like the Sharbakas fall into extreme of peace, having become displeased with their environment in cyclic existence? As the Sutra of showing the Tathagata's inconceivable secret states, the bodhisattvas, thinking of the maturation of the living beings, view a cyclic existence as a beneficial. Accordingly, they do not view great nirvana or the liberation as a beneficial to the maturation of beings. And further, where the bodhisattvas to fear involvement in the cyclic existence, they would fall to a destitute place. And also, the Bhagavan, where the Sharvakas fear involvement in the cyclic existence, bodhisattvas voluntarily take innumerable rebirths in the cyclic existence.
되게 된다 가려서 하고서 상추 선바도서 코알 조셰당 아니 인중신데 제선은 지금 말에 예터나게 차도 그래 아니 차도 그래 놀랬던 손도 지금 말에서라고
So what is
코알 인중수 제거잖아 지금 말에서 그래 상추서 다들 같이 계절에다라는 말이
So it is now the question here the question here being asked is the bodhisattva should not be disenchanted by the cyclic existence. It is a question, okay? Question that's asked. Mm-hmm. And because bodhisattvas must take should not be fear of cyclic existence. Bodhisattva should not fear of cyclic existence, nor bodhisattva should be disenchanted with the cyclic existence. So this is the question.
다른로라 렌저디 천어예니 상추 셈바 코알 타그마리 코아노라 샤나 체그마리 코알 조나 체그마리 세데 아니 곰바 도티 롱종네 계시셔데 노바레세데 렌데 joyo부터 다오드 렌데.
So then here the answer, we can read the answer later, actual meaning of the sutra here.
데네센도 안도 유된 시절로도 좀 노아침보 때스 이긴 도이 론지 동라 상주 선바 니라도 코알라 타그데 상주 선바 코알 타그 말로도 코알라 마타노 코알라 체나 가르치는 제거랬어요. 도이 된다 좀한테 시절로도 노아침보 때 로샤 시토모디 질로다 데넨 도이 된 시절로도 좀 노아침보 때
So now here but as to the answer to the question that is being asked by someone, it says, response, this is a great error that misconstrues the sutra's meaning.
데이터 주지 가르에서나 데이터 코알라 조아 메자 시송비 되네서 그거는 메자 되네 레도 녀몬병원게 시바 첨비 제가 나체 소지 동해라 인중 Meja Tumba Minchi, Shanchu Semba, Roy Tendo Kui Ta, Yi Pado Shansenju Shobala Loba, Gocha Goba Na, Roy Dongen Tada, Dombe, Geji Rerela, Luda Senla Bojang, Tedaki Yi Joshin, Jeba Meba, Shoba Lobo Che Nang, Joy, Zunju Zombala, Kuala Majoa Sombi, Shero, Tetayang Sondo.
So here, now next line here we read, it says, for the sutra passage that says, thus bodhisattvas should not become disenchanted with the cyclic existence, does not teach bodhisattvas not to be disgusted with the suffering of birth, aging, illness, death, and so on, right? And the result of our own wandering through the cyclic existence under the influence of our karma and afflictions. Rather, this sutra teaches joyous perseverance in order to train in the bodhisattva's activities for the sake of others until the end of cyclic existence. Bodhisattvas must put on armor here referring to the courage, and once they do this, even if all the sufferings of all beings were collected, and the bodhisattvas constantly experience them mentally and physically, they would still persevere joyously, delighting in the magnificent deeds that help others, without becoming disenchanted with or frightened by the sufferings. Thus the Buddha said that the bodhisattva strives must not be disenchanted with cyclic existence. The Master Chandrakriti says here again.
Shangchu Semba does Koa no le Yirimbo Shuede, Koa la Jibo in the Shugo Mari, Koa la Nimi Matonch in the Shugo Maris, Koa la Nibi Sinjin Teda Jobi Tundala, and Koa la Casit and the day to Edi Jawari, so on.
So here the bodhisattvas are so determined to be in the cyclic existence. It's not that bodhisattvas have not actually discovered the faults of cyclic existence, nor they have generated a disenchantment towards cyclic existence. But rather, the main purpose of the bodhisattvas being in the cyclic existence or the samsara is to safeguard, is to benefit all other sentient beings. So therefore, they courageously and joyfully, independently, in other words, being in the cyclic existence for the benefit of other sentient beings.
Joyi Donghe Mali, Laba Koi Pada, Geji na Geji la, Namba Jendo, Liudan Senla Neba Dagi Jang, Jewa Minjela, Joyi Donghe Jija Laba Dagi Koi Pada Joa, Shebi Zunriji Geji Rene, Joa Tadagi Namba Tanji Chimba Niji, Noji, Tsu Tayaba Chibi Juriba Shene, Laya Siba Jata, Lama Ride, Shebi Shije Dun Dotena Trambi Shoro Sondu Dere.
So that the Master Chandrakriti says, bodhisattvas who take on the suffering of all beings, moment by moment, until the end of cyclic existence, do not fear from their bodies or mind. Bodhisattvas who take on the suffering of all beings simultaneously until the end of cyclic existence delight in these activities. Each instant of such joyous perseverance acts as a cause whose effect produces boundless collections of the wealth, bringing omniscience to all beings. Once bodhisattvas understand this is appropriate for them to take hundreds of rebirths. So in order to emphasize this point, Chandrakriti then again cites the aforementioned passages from the Sutra of showing the Tathagatas inconceivable secret again.
데데로 ngaso 세대 더러 깔레 가시 저토는 저비 야 용으로 지단네.
So it is pretty common sense, right? If we were to put an effort and don't mind to take in hardship for whatever, to accomplish your goal, that you are setting up a goal and you are doing something. But not only just setting a goal is enough, but you need to put an effort to achieve that goal. So if you have put an effort, and hardship in pursuit of achieving the goal, and you will be able to achieve the goal. This is a common sense.
상추 semba 코이 내 도자 되노라 내내 선제 당직이 된지디 타투 가르차고래 코로 조비 상추지 고마타와 인산 소지 너지 초데 너부터 봐라.
So Bodhisattvas being in the cyclic existence or the samsara for a long period of time, and their purpose of being and saving other sentient beings and benefiting other sentient beings being in the cyclic existence, by doing that, they were able to accumulate the tremendous amount of merits, which will become a cause for complete enlightenment. In other words, being in the cyclic existence, bodhisattvas are able to achieve the jewels. That, so that is how, why the bodhisattvas are not we're not fearing to be in the cyclic existence.
tanda 상추기 센세데 란데 데루르 제데 데루르소다 라신이가 게 된두에 지기 단달인 손 단다양 겨와 자타도 코알라 내나 내리그레 소무도.
So this bodhicitta or the Changchuk Sem is a connotation of fulfilling the wishes of self and others. But not only that fulfilling the wish of others, but also fulfill the wish of one's own self.
오늘 라보데 지어래 배는 가서기 리피 통저체선으로 리피 저때나 니라도서기 까와 자타 때문에 깔려전에 라니 대화 윤터 제거를 라니기 대화 뒤서 집어지자 나올 깔려 집어지자 저거래다 란데 진타투 신투고 말아 인터넷 란데 타신 발라 이 젠데 젠데 란데 타시는 마도 라니 지고 로서치 면도.
So here now, in order to fulfill the wish of one's own self, in order to achieve the ultimate, goal of one's own self, one need to work for the benefit of other beings. Without working for the benefit of, without putting an effort for the welfare of other sentient being, it is not possible for one to actually accomplish one's own ultimate goal. Just like here, if you look at the practitioner of Sharvaka and Pratyeka Buddhas, they put a same amount of time and efforts to engage in the practice, meditating for a long period of time to fulfill the wish, to gain the ultimate wish of one's own self, one's own goal. However, they are not being able to achieve that. It is because they are not being able to engage in the practice that is benefiting other sentient beings. Without this, it's not possible for one to actually, fulfill the ultimate goal of one's own self.
상추기 센데 리바다 뎀비고네 란데 두에 데르서 응네레도 젠지고 마이나 라니 지고 요데 잠을리는 메시어레도 로 스르진선 좀바 가인선 라니 지고 타시 비지보 용세에 젠라 지보되는 랑 지보 용노마도 라니 지고 바시 지보 용세에 메시어레도 시작.
Just it is not possible to achieve happiness by oneself without working for the welfare of other sentient beings. That's not possible at all. You will not be able to achieve ultimate state of happiness without working for the welfare of other sentient beings. Period.
추에께서 레메도 로 랑기 데치 타투버세데 젠라 슈치말레도.
It's not only a religious point of view, but it's in a common sense. Our experiences of our joyful experience or happinesses are all dependent upon others.
So
this is what is meant by tendel or the dependent originations.
Tanda ngin di na meto ni je shu je le nge da nga cheron su nyo nge de ra ba chi ko ma ro mo bo shu ji yin pe son le ten yi de wa je nga so la ba le ro.
So for instance, the flower in front of me right now, we are enjoying the beauty of the flower at this time. And the flowers is really, looking at the color of the flower, it is really attractive and so beautiful, and we are enjoying the beauty of this flower at this time. However, this flower is not just actually come from nowhere. It has numerous causes and conditions.
So dancing the tendre la shu chata chi tendre the dancing the shu chata chi tendre la ko me ma do ngone chene tena ko thoman bezen sun bezen chene yong sena joshi jone college ta chi chi jenge so na tendre thom go sana dong ni jona so so la ka ju me che ba me bi so chi ro dancing shu chata chi tendre la ko ti chong ta chene la sha ma do dan dan de ji ko la sana do na so so la go ye cha la jin na mo shu ji yin be zhen le de ne yong xiang jiu ji sang na dong yu di ga jin de ka yin na ga jin qiu de so ji.
It is because that we are unable to, really to trace back the actual causes and condition of whatever, object that may be. It is due to our, too much clinging towards the existence of independent existence of self and phenomena, and with the lack of understanding of dependent originations. Other words, if you look at whatever that exists, for instance, the flower in front of me, if you look at that, if with the understanding of dependent originations, with the idea of dependent originations, you'll be able to see that numerous, causes and conditions are involved in order for this flower to coming into existence. If you're able to have this kind of view, then you will be able to appreciate all those causes and conditions, particularly towards the people who actually put an effort to bringing about this flower, existence.
Nge dong de ka je or sana shang chu sem ba se de da me dang ten de ye ra pa ye kwa de le wa yin zan yin da ye wa ma do wa chen ni nyong de le ka chen ni ji gi ka den ji de sana re ni ji zo la me ba to na sha wa de na wo ye ro.
The reason why I'm saying here is now the bodhisattvas, and their way of doing their activities are based on the understanding of selflessness. Understanding of selflessness is based on understanding of dependent originations and supported by the great compassion.
Number time shares Sibala Pin Tabi Jinsen de Yansa Deni Indo Deni Les Shan Sen Senji Dana Zumba Yin Las Della Cheta Zumba Deda Tu Dewanjua Sombe Sibala Mejoy Den Koa Senji Den Shebala Mejoy Mejoshin Dedala Gawayan Sombe Shero Denas did the Bashuchin Duati.
So here, now again, let's read through the text here. So this same sutra states that cyclic existence should be viewed as a beneficial because bodhisattvas gain happiness proportionate to the effort that they make when they strive for the welfare of living beings. Hence, the Buddha says that not being disenchanted with the cyclic existence means not being disenchanted with accomplishing the good for living beings in cyclic existence, as well as the enjoying their activities.
Donghe Deme na ne sa Rangi Tanya Minina Shenje Tajime Tene Gupa Kinji Go Yimbe Teme la Chi Shindu Joa Shago Shela Gagoshin
So then here it says, when you wander through cyclic existence by the power of karma and afflictions, you are tormented by many sufferings. if you are unable to accomplish even your own aims, what need is there to mention that you cannot accomplish those those of others? Since such wandering is the door to all problems, bodhisattvas must be even more disenchanted with the secular existence than the Hinayana practitioners. Must stop their own wandering caused by the karma and afflictions.
Leto nyumo ongi kwa de kone kuyi donghe je nagoya na rani ki tuan du tuya pa yushe de jen je tuan mara jen je tuan da pa yushe rani tuan da la du tu ku mendo as inzane kuyi donghe je mena nge ji je gore rani ji go kuyi donghe karsa yi jo ne pena rani ji go taba duya de ga gore se ndo chi yana donghe nyongwa de ga gore se ndo chi ro to de wala na tendala darwa maso koyi donghe ki na jimbi ne gala jenda pa yusho da rani yi ten ma rani pa yu rande yusho da ma jenda yusho da rande ya ru tu men do was ki la cha da koyi donghe che na wana.
So when we are undergoing the suffering of cyclic existence, in other words, when we are in the cyclic in the samsara under the power of affliction and karma, let alone that we fulfill the wishes of other beings, working for the welfare of other beings, it is not even possible for us to fulfill our own wishes, isn't it?
Insane pena shangchu semba to kwa de ne go yana ani de jenda gupa ken jo gore te kare chen kwa de ne go re ani rani ji go de ne de ga go re si chi ya cha da.
So here working for the welfare of one's own self, only for one's own self, need to be abandoned in order to engage in the practice of the bodhisattvas, right?
Ngasu chidang tene shigare, chidang nyerang ge lang de panja marwa, shangsen lang la de panja yin sa la ga chidwa, chidang panja mare, chubu chungi dame do bilo ra, shangsen lang la de rani chigo tende ni bilo de shangchu sembe lang la de panja chagare.
In general, the path of the Shervaka and Pratyeka Buddhas are not actually abandonment. It is not the object of abandonment when one is engaging in the practice of, when one is venturing oneself on the path. However, when it comes to the Bodhisattva's practice, then the path of Shervaka and Pratyeka Buddhas becomes abandonment, because the path of Pratyeka Buddha has some kind of self-cherishment. There's a self-interest, in other words, gaining the liberation from the secular existence for one's own self. So therefore, this kind of selfish thought must be eliminated when one is engaging in the path of bodhisattvas, when one is venturing on the path of bodhisattvas.
Chidang kwa la joshi shu chenpo che go re songdo wa, jeo la joshi shu chenpo che go re. Kari sena nga son peja na, sende la metse korang nepa che na, jende rendenpa yusho da rangden ru tu kume do was. Tena yin ye, kuyi dongen che nande nge na, rangshi kang ye tanda ru tu kume re, kwa la joshi che go re songdo wa.
That here, it is important for one to actually generate disenchantment towards secular existence, because without generating a genuine disenchantment towards secular existence, you will not be able to free yourself from secular existence. You will remain within the secular existence under the power of affliction and karma, in which you will not be able to fulfill the wish of one's own self and that of others.
Gawa shago bes, teni michi go son. Teta mashewa hata mena ne mabola shansen je damba yona, nyeshe nyumon jenshi jeba shansale son de es, tsinge to ne ma, tsi mawa ngeso to ne majiso son.
So let's read through the text here again. Nevertheless, bodhisattvas must enjoy being reborn in secular existence through their aspirational prayers and compassion, and these two ways of being reborn are not the same, isn't it? So then again here it said, failing to make this distinction leads to a calms like that above. The Bodhisattva's level says that if if the proponent of such a position have taken the vow of the bodhisattvas, then they have committed a misdeeds permitted with the afflictions.
The quotation to Shintere, Bena never Mehon Yumba, member Mehon Yumba Kakaroa. Never Mehon Yumba de Rameba Yungare, member Mehon Yumba de never Jubitanda Yungaro. Tender word.
So let's take a simple example here now. Someone who, the patient who come to the clinic or the hospital, or the physician who come to the hospital has a different meaning, right? They have a different purpose. The patient who come to the hospital is to have some kind of problem with them, and they wanted someone to cure their sickness. But the physicians who are coming to the hospital is not to cure his or her sickness, but to cure the sickness of other beings.
Member Nasala Gagumare, never Nasala Gagumare, Chiparo.
It's the same thing. The both of them do not like to undergo suffering of illness, physician and the patients.
So this
is a simple example of dispelling our misconceptions. Let's take a break here.
Sanje Shindu Minde Biwayi Dogen Nanda Shinla Shubo Shu Yedang Guru Minde Langa Nayan Daya Mich. Hello, Winda. Madriso Nieton Madriso Setimba. That is 대시의 CB 전타다 통에 신도 인종양스 인지 친부 이정바 세바 매방원에 와차와 인지 CB 핀소를 제메컨다 다 인컨다 통이 세바 존재장 카면리바 젠델라니 다네 코자 코 매방 시장 개방고와 갈란주 오마님 볼래장 송도들
So we're going through the text again here, reading through the text. It says, however, failing too many words, I will not quote the passage in full. Hence it is amazing that the bodhisattvas see the defects of cyclic existence and are thoroughly disgusted, yet do not give up their vow because they are motivated by great compassion. If those who see the wonders of cyclic existence as like a selection mentioned, without reducing their craving even in the slightest claim to be as serving others, how could their unwillingness to abandon cyclic existence please the wise? As the Bodhisattva, the Baba Vipika's Heart of the Middle Way says.
Dero, what's was in the Hansen Canadusana, Shojin CB crossing at the Tudrigi Sana yet ton, Shojin and Hinji Chimbutana in it, Tudrigi Sound in the Deva that the Yat Sabu Shujere, says Jero. Also, Kodiva Shentere.
So, if we will look at that, so what it really says here is now, it is amazing how the Bodhisattvas see the defect of secular existence, yet at the same time, they are willing to be in this secular existence.
Niji Chimbi Yi Changne, and Sinje Tanji Dondola, Kuala Cassette Dongenona, Sinje Yi Dongen Yosubarani, Chico, you could learn a land to a Boba Senji or Bo Senji.
So they're so courageous because of the compassion, they're motivated by the compassion. Even the entire, the sufferings of the entire sentient beings befell on them. They are willing to take that, and they are willing to, take upon the, suffering of all other sentient beings upon themselves.
나송이 내단 간디지레서 나로와 데로와 가서 가이세다 통일 로번에 노소법에 노진저 간제 나송이 코아생데 가래 메토동라 가이세나 이지 통고라. So
for us now, our way of looking at secular existence or the or samsara It's like a beautiful garden. We look at and our understanding of secular existence of the samsara is a beautiful garden, something that is so attractive, something that is environment that you really want to be in.
Benang handu beji kwa singe de jeme kang na ye ji tong ne nge kwa pang me sinje tang je de nge kwa pang me se ke je she na de da ke ba yin gu tu ke cha ma re ta ma be ro.
If you look at the secular existence like a celestial mansion, and you have a very strong desire to be in the secular existence, and yet at the same time, if you claim to working for the welfare of other sentient beings, for the benefit of other sentient beings, being in the secular existence, it's not make much sense, because you are completely attached to the secular existence. You have this strong attachment of secular existence, right?
Kebango kalan chiche. Omanhin bole che de sibo shujere. Jonto shena siba mi sa. Zi shena kasare, zi shen yange ndamene semala. Jende du shi ti ju jin siba yang na neba shi je song so song de sidi.
So here it's the one verse by the Baba Vivekas in his Heart of the Middle Way. It says, since the bodhisattvas see the faults of secular existence, they do not remain here, because they care for others. They do not remain in nirvana in order to fulfill the needs of others. They resolve to remain in secular existence.
Si tombo te ta shwa. Jonto shena se de kwa la jonto jon chimbo tong yin zane ni kwa la gabo yo ne siba na deba ma re shangchu samba des. Shangchu samba kwa na deba de sibo la gabo yin ma de jon tong za yin zane sibo la gabo jen dega ma re wa do chi.
It says, since the bodhisattvas see the faults of secular existence, they do not remain here, which means they already see the faults of secular existence. They are not remaining in secular existence out of attachment, out of without having a disenchantment towards secular existence.
Si ni batinda zi karsa zi shen nyangin mene karsa nyangni de mene se derwa. Ani sinje tangje la ziwa shu chenbe yue bi jenje sinje la danda jene shugure ma do jokban jebo nyangin le dega mare.
So then the next line it says, because they care for others, they do not remain in nirvana. So they do not remain in nirvana, which means the bodhisattvas courageously live within the secular existence without going beyond sorrow. In other words, without going to nirvana, to remain the secular existence for the benefit of other sentient beings.
Jende du shi ti ju chen sipa na ne ma she se de jende du bi ti ju se wa yin zan jende du tanda du sa tanda yo sa chile ne go ro yin zan si bi kho no le jende du bi tanda le ne gre.
So it's because they care for others, they do not remain in the nirvana in order to fulfill the needs of others. They resolve to remain in secular existence. Their sole purpose of being the secular existence is to fulfill the wishes of other sentient beings.
Chidang nga mi shangchu sen de teba chimi ko le wo ne le gro. Ina ya sana chi tong ko ro. Donghe chen ji sen che te gare chen le tu go yo ma re se. Ronin ro na ro chu chu yin ba kan shi la gare chen le tu go yo ma re la so na zewa she tan le tu go yo ma re se ji ro.
So the detailed explanation of the practice of the bodhisattva will be explained below when we are entering into the great scopes, the practitioner of the great scopes. So why the bodhisattvas, in other words, why the bodhisattvas are, wanted to be, go to nirvana, in other words. Why they are remaining in the secular existence. And their purpose, as we mentioned earlier, their sole purpose of courageously remaining in the secular existence, while completely tormented by the sufferings. why the bodhisattvas, courageously remaining in the secular existence, it's because they are completely, controlled by compassion. In other words, compassion and love and sense of caring for others.
아마치를 빛이마도 매와도록 계속 아마를 쉬우다야 말단 버글 저 맹연도 아마를 빛이마도 매미 세와기 려무통에 버그대 명원을 하되나 아마데 사치 지보질에 창산로이 디나에 러그 말어.
For example, like the mother, I don't think it necessarily be all mother, but in general, the mother who has only son. If her son is sick and admitted to the hospital, and then mother, do you think that such a mother will have a motivation of going outside and enjoying herself? Yeah. No, right? So this is the same thing. The bodhisattvas have the same feeling towards all sentient beings as their only child. So even more intense. Their feeling towards sentient beings, compassion is and love towards sentient beings is even more, powerful and intense than the mother who has love for her only son, her only child, in other words.
슈달라 진정와 제거바 당스 코알라 조제점 메조셰바네 첸가와 인노스 코알라 일레반종와 셰데 데네 선제 랑 선제나 랑게 녀도 통네 대다게 된도 신선주비 랑지 림바네 상추선비 년조지 쇼바 지자비 양 공바 인신 로벤 첨부 나와 잡에 장 대인제 바세완제데 되게도 제게도 손도 단백질 유경안이 이제 해져서야 돼. 해져라고 자기도 놓으셨나.
So here we read the text, the Lam Rim text again. Once you see the limitless suffering of all beings, such as the 110 sufferings explained in the Bodhisattva's labels, you allow this to be the cause of great compassion. At this time, when you cultivate a heart that has a forceful and enduring. Am I escaping one?
No.
Did I? No. Okay. Inability to withstand the sight of others suffering, it would be contradictory to be not even slightly disenchanted with the secular existence. The theme of our endeavors, 400 stanzas, is the stages, that path upon which bodhisattvas develop a great revolution for secular existence, and then seeing living beings as their close relatives, the entire ocean of the secular existence for their sake. In this commentary on that work, the great Master Chandrakirti clarified this.
다 지게 되어서 대미신 되게 저거 마서 지게 되어서 코이님이 시베 이 짜진 조안도 바나 태바천베 랑랑 녜바자와 샤유 된도 전된데 제 경lon다 유림보 코와 나라 강라 파마 범범모 년도 나게 년상 강양容易 내단자와 매마와네 신진지 리네 신진 가양 여바 마이노 셰송 라스 샹추스 티발로베
So here again, let's read through the text again. Due to the Buddha's explanation of the faults of secular existence, his disciples learn to fear it and desire freedom from it. The Bhagavan said the following, so that they would develop a strong connection to the Mahayana. It quotes, "O monks, among all who have passed through the secular existence for a long time, There's not one being among all the various types of living beings who has not been like a father, mother, or son, daughter, relatives, or the steps of relationship to you, relation to you. Sorry.
계좌 가르치고 그러잖아. 근데 상추 선보도서 코아생이 님이 통에 조장을 잡이니 선제되다 랑기 년년제 찍고 계차지 말해서 마음에 선제기 리스도 방 영수주비 된다라 나그래 소한테 지레셔. 되게 단단한 얘기도 공부해. 상추 선보나죠 코알라 잡아전에 타바침벨랑라 치바 야기 선제되다 내 랑게 년년데 찍고 말해 선제지 영수도 봐. 그래서
So what is this sutra actually explains here is, now the bodhisattvas being in the cyclic existence, working for the welfare of other beings, not only to the welfare of other beings who are related to themselves, the bodhisattvas, who has been their father or mother, or their relatives and so forth, but rather they are remaining in the cyclic existence for the benefit of all other sentient beings, entire sentient beings, without exception, in other words. Leading all sentient beings, having a strong motivation of leading all sentient beings, entire sentient beings, to the state of liberation and enlightenment. There's not a single sentient being the Bodhisattva is not working to free.
소장 무슨 신전라 저와의 찬양바이 로 된다전에 찬양 제토에 생지 가서 다 라운드어디 찬양바지 용토에지
So when one is engaging
마도 선전 이런 가서 촌도는 상주 선바페는 그 된다 제 있어야 되는 마인바.
So there's not a when speaking about the practice of bodhicitta or engaging in the practice of the bodhisattva, we're not talking about that we are focusing on one individual and having a desire or having a strong wish to free that individual to free from sufferings. But rather, when engaging in the practice of the bodhicitta, one should train one's mind how to extend your love and compassion towards all beings equally. In other words, we should not have any kind of discriminations among all other sentient beings. You should have equal. You should learn how to actually extend your love and compassion towards all other sentient beings equally.
상추 생지 강는 된으로 변의 상추 강는 저완지 첨보를 보지가 소배 예수 전로 보시나 저완지 첨보도 추로보지나 추도 힘칸나 당연히로所以힘칸 용수 초바 케토에 저와의 제도네.
Just let's take an example of the water. If you have when you get the water and then to the irrigations, in other words, you're just releasing the water into the field. The water will, without any discrimination, water will be pervaded the entire field. In the same manner, when the compassion is extended, Bodhisattva's compassion is extended towards sentient beings. They extended towards sentient beings, entire sentient beings equally.
등주지 강한테 로데 공용디 선진지 당양 개바 남에 개바 자탈로서 내가 나요天son 진르명이 로타 최통에 가시 조신데 제도에기 센터질래요디 니 상추 선바세 되네.
If one is able to familiarize with this kind of practice, then regardless of how long that you have to be in this secular existence, you will courageously and joyfully to be able to be in the cyclic existence for the benefit of other sentient beings.
등주지 상나동 상추 선바세 등주지 상나동 맞아 상추 선바세 등가서 지 잠물림바데 생진 소리 상나동은 다다 되게 말이 소소 생기 공부.
So this is how you should have the idea of bodhisattvas. When speaking about bodhisattvas have a compassion towards entire sentient beings, regardless of who they are, and so forth. So we should not have an idea when speaking about bodhisattva. We shouldn't think of, an idea of someone like a leader who's leading a group of individual, group of people, such as presidents and so forth. Rather, bodhisattvas, their when it comes to the extension of their compassion towards all other sentient beings is equal without any the bias.
Sentient kanre to ne yi dong wa yi tsewa te tu nge ro pa sho gi nang jong lo ma de ba rang gi sen yi to ne pige de le tsewa yi sen tu ye chi.
So regardless of whoever they see, the bodhisattvas see, they will see all beings as a worthy of love and having a heart-warming love towards all beings, regardless of who they are, who they come across with.
Da shangchu senpa nang je jamden de ji song riba shene kowa juba thoma meba ne pata mala sobi zala de jebin rowa jashin go meba ta da teba chimbi tsuji senji rowa shayi sher choba zoba yende she sombi sharo sondo.
So then here again, let's go through the text, Lam Rim text itself. And further, it says, by understanding the words of the Bhagavan, bodhisattvas are able to leap into the ocean of cyclic existence. They do this so that all beings who have been their close relatives, like father and mother, throughout beginningless time, and who are not bereft and without protector, may be freed by the boat of the Mahayana.
Dengan sucioro, bena shinrezi ye tu chesi de zintab mare nyamba tab. Jambe yade jibo tab insa ro. Tamba shaje to bade jibo tab. Sada bena de zintab se de rawo sondo. Zintab senje se de ni papa shinrezi ge tombo shachu ge senje yode ne senje tan mare jibo tab de shinrezi jambe yade. Jizin jambe ge zintab senje so 아니 선제타지 가도년도 타바침비 고본 말을 봐도 말nghe 선제타지 가도년도 년도라 타바침비 고본라 튀기 맞수 진노로라 저동에다 저대 년도 소파가 해려져로 빼자는 소야로 된다고들 단데 진데 되려도 변은 자배하게 투지지
타바침비 진라이더와 타바침비 녀모처럼
저 매번 거면 받다 진제니 줘봐셔이 줘봐 줘봐인데 성도도
잠배양이 때 단다
년바다비 senji 년바다비 senji 지오다비 아니 내가 손단다 senji지데 지보다비 senji dimba 좀 마셔져 더 보이대 더 센터기 제송기 제동.
So but when looking at this particular paragraphs, it says protection may be freed by the boat of Mahayana. So now when speaking about or the practice in the bodhicitta, there are different ways in which that we actually practice in bodhicitta. For instance, the bodhicitta developed by the Manjushri, it's like the practice of the boatman, like a practice of bodhicitta. In other words, the captain of like a bodhicitta, because the boatman, in other words, wanted to get the other shore of the ocean along with the passengers, right? People, whoever is with them, they wanted to be other shore of the of the oceans together with their passengers. And there's again a shepherd like bodhicitta, which is bodhicitta that is developed by the Buddha of Avalokiteshvara or Chenrisi, Buddha of compassion. And there's a king like bodhicitta, which is the main practice that we are doing here.
Shisum Shares, Jedra, this Jamago Shisum Share. Sitene Sanga Lana Mebaya Godes, Sanga Lana Meba Lion Gode, Shoba Dibi Gemele, Jimba de Shinto Joba maybe Shoba Lion Juba, Shao, De Jimba and Day in day. Telasa, Tombo Kwana Juba. Kowa Toma Meba Chenji Donghe Chemba Shala, Nyangilen Debi, Dewan Debe, Denzin Tangje Yonsu Pamba Shashin, Tana, Jesi Jo Onshu Yang, Donghe Chindi Shegamba Shawo She, Papa Lesombi Shoro Sundu. Andibachi Losharchi.
So here, now through these stages, you should engage in this activities wholly free of elaborations. The stage of doing this are as follows. In the very beginning, you should recall the beginningless sufferings of cyclic existence and then desire the bliss of nirvana. Therefore, you should completely give up all agitation and even cultivate the idea that the rules of the kingdom suffer. Rulers of the kingdom suffers.
Listen, on the day they see this at Garden. Ninjuki somebody, Nishanchu Sambala Goba Mase, and Sanga Doji Tepala, and Ninjuki somebody go to yes, and that do that.
So now here, the cultivation of renunciations or the development of renunciation is not necessary only for cultivating bodhicitta, engaging in practice of the bodhicitta, but also all the way up to the practice of the sacred Vajrayana or the Tantrayana. It is one of the foundation upon which all the spiritual developments need to be built.
So Ninju Shanchu Sayang Tabi Thousand Battle, Timon Yalang Lagora, Timon Lanjangi, no to Chesa di Jenny Tipachimbola Sugar Chijera. Ninju Shanchu Sombote, Yang Tabi Thousand Battle, Timon Yalang Sigara. Timon Yalang, you pitching your set, some on the Tone, you sit at Changina, your set on the Balesona, and Tipachimilana Sugar. Sanga Doji Tibelan.
So we call those three principal paths, practice of renunciations, bodhicitta, and perfect views are said to be the common path. Once we have perfected those common paths, one will then be able to enter into the practice of sacred mantrayana, the practice of sacred mantrayana.
Then Samala Nyanse Karichegurua, Nyanse Karicheval Nova Cheguri, Sunjaki Tanchable and Nova Cherry, Sunjaki turned Chibi Kunoching in the citizen, Shanchus and the Nijiroa.
So, why the practice of sacred mantrayana or the Vajrayana is said to be a nyurlam, which means the swift path to enlightenment. Why it is called swift path to enlightenment? What is meant by swift path to enlightenment is swift or the path for working for the welfare of entire sentient beings, in other words. And this motivation of working for the welfare of other sentient beings is actually derived from the practice of bodhicitta or compassion.
Tentuki Shanchu said that Shanchu is saying Mazing Sangaji Lansing
It is not possible for one to actually venture upon the path of Vajrayana without having a proper practice of bodhicitta.
Shanchu Semena Kandogin and Landy Jamewa. Zubi Shanchu Sal Dogin, Langa Karin and Dogin City, Zoja Tenijalo, the Shanchu Sero.
Without engaging in the practice of bodhicitta, without having a proper understanding of bodhicitta, there is no way to enlightenment.
Tentuki Zoja Tenijalo, the Levala, Miji Tegore, Roa, Kuyi Nimi Masevala, Sanjes and Koa and Yandesengi, Yawachi Masevala, Yato Kesi Junior Maro.
So to have bodhicitta, because you long to achieve the complete state of enlightenment for the benefit of other sentient beings. This is the characteristic of the bodhicitta. This is the definition of bodhicitta. And so to have such a bodhicitta, well, without having this bodhicitta working for, gain the state of enlightenment for the benefit of other sentient beings, we will not be able to distinguish between the nirvana and samsara without having this quality within us. Without seeing the faults, you will not have a desire to free from that faults, right? First, in order to free yourself from that faults, then you have to see the faults. This need to be experienced by one's own self. First, we need to find the faults of one's own self and have a strong desire to free oneself from this particular faults. Without seeing the faults of one's own self, it is not possible. Without experiencing the suffering of one's own self, in other words, and it's not possible to see the suffering of other beings. So therefore, having a strong wish to free oneself from cyclic existence is said to be a renunciations, development of renunciations, and having a strong wish to free other sentient beings from cyclic existence is said to be a compassion. So now here, first one generates, one develops renunciations, which is having a keen desire to free yourself from cyclic existence. And then you are actually extending this particular thought towards other beings. That you, not only that you want to free yourself from cyclic existence, but you have a genuine wish to free all sentient beings from the cyclic existence, which will then lead yourself to the development of bodhicitta. With the development of bodhicitta will then enables you to enter into the path, what we call the swift path of Vajrayana, or in other words, the path of Vajrayana. So, it is important for us to actually, set our, try to, think all those practices in orderly manner. First, importance of having renunciations, compassion will lead to this vow of bodhicitta. With the bodhicitta, one can then enter into the path of Vajrayana. Just like you are going somewhere, if you are going somewhere, that you have to have, how do you get there? So you have to have this, prior to your, actual journey, isn't it? In the same manner, your practice, beginning from all the way from renunciation to the state of enlightenment, you should have, you should set up those, stages, in a sequential manner. So we really need to, set up those, sequence in us. This is where I will go. From this, I will go, and so on and so forth. I will be in such and such, place in my next rebirth, and so on and so forth. So we have to set the goals, and this goal need to be set based on in a sequential order, the proper manner. So okay, we'll live here with Tharbana Dedu Lamimba today, and then we'll start from the next is ascertaining the nature of the path leading to liberations. We'll go through that next week. So, as we talked about earlier in the prior to our teachings during the setting up the appropriate motivations, we talked about the two actions of beginning and two actions at the ends. So we have cultivated an appropriate motivation to receive the teachings, and now at the end of the teachings is the dedications. What we were doing at it, what these actions of the actions that required for the end of one's teaching is whatever the teachings that you have received, making sure that your receiving of the teachings become authentic virtue, and these virtues need to be deposited somewhere. It needs to be deposited.
Just like
if you were to ask the question to me that if I have $100, where you will be donating this $100? I'll be donating this $100 for all other sentient beings for the benefit to gain the state of enlightenment. So this is how we should dedicate our merits.
Böje shōshē mēndō chōng, rē rō lē shē nyē dē jēmbō dē, sāng jē shēn dō mē dē bē wā yē, rō kē nāng dā shēn lō shū bō yō, kēn dō yāng dā lā mā dā, rē mē chē chē bē lā lō shē chē, Sadan lanje yuden rozone, doje change gopon yado yo. Guru rana mire laga naya daya emi. Rindu bele sonye ne, kada yamba kanshi sabande, Lomi mare ke don jawan, Nang ren jia ye wang bo da ju ji, Dema sun bie ce ra gun do yang, Jiang bie yang ji ce yue ji zong ne, Ding bie rin ba gun sang lang ji qiu, Nian ne zhu bie ji nang nian xie xiu, Rang ge qi jin du bie lang ji ne, Xiu zhe ce yue zhang yue ta ge ji, Ro yue yue ji min ba se xie ne, Den ba yu ren zin ju ji, Den ba ren qian chu ge ma qia ba, Qia jiang yang ba ju bi shu de ne, Nian jie qian bu yi ran chu ba yi, Bian de 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 se wa xie ba xiu, Se jin jia yu mi xiong chen le le, Le zhu xiang qiu lang ji rin bie jiang, Tang de nang ji yi lan bie de xin, Jia yun ze ba rin do zhong ju ji, Lang zang zhu bie tun jin zhu xie jin, Ge jin si ji me dang me min kin, Ce ra gun du jia yue ngang ba yi, Nang da zhe wa ma ju ji, Gang zi te ba chu la chu shi ji, 其心诸那尊巴铁月财，土地南极大都出西经，扎西将此修根求究极。南面国财绕定经，南高城内修究皆巴当。罗藏定别准面萨松起，若月明色大多念究极。绕月过夜心康苏，平等电话马林九月年。自我定真叫作业，小别身体保度定究极。八月七大千八当，更多上报的阳的现的，得到根据结束道路些，给我得到堂前绕多我的双西边家堂前去，我刚了求多我把的。大仙月月早晚都跟讲，双不休息绕多我去。哎呀，对不起，太久了。